Mexico, a country bursting with colors, flavors, and history. Around every corner, you'll find a different story, a different taste on every street. As you walk the streets of Mexico, colorful buildings and lively markets greet you. The delicious food offered by street vendors showcases the country's rich culinary culture. From its sunny beaches to its ancient pyramids, it's a place that captivates your senses. Mexico is a land of contrasts. On one side, pristine white beaches and clear blue sea. On the other, thousands of years of history and culture. This richness makes Mexico unique. Modern cities rise among ancient ruins. Mexico City stands out with both its modern architecture and its historical texture. This blend of old and new adds to the city's energy and dynamism. Indigenous traditions blend with Spanish colonial influences. Mexico's cultural festivals celebrate this rich heritage. Traditional dances and music reflect the soul of the country. Mexico is located just south of the United States. This geographic location increases the cultural and economic interaction between the two countries. Border towns are some of the most vibrant examples of this interaction. It's bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Gulf of Mexico to the east. These two different coastlines enhance the country's natural beauty and biodiversity. Each coast offers unique landscapes and ecosystems. This unique geography has shaped its destiny. Mountains, valleys, forests, and deserts make up Mexico's natural riches. This diversity is also reflected in the country's cultural and historical heritage. It's a place where ancient civilizations thrived. The Mayans and Aztecs built great civilizations in these lands. Their legacy lives on in many archaeological sites still waiting to be discovered. The Aztecs and Mayans left their mark on the land. Their legacy lives on today. Museums and historical sites continue to tell the stories of these great civilizations. Mexico is a country where the past and present meet. Let's talk about something important now: safety. Mexico is known for its beauty and rich culture, but there are also worries about safety. Mexico is often in the news for the wrong reasons. You often see stories about drug cartels, violence, and crime. Drug cartels, violence, and crime are real concerns. But it's important to remember that this doesn't describe the whole country. But that's not the whole story. Many parts of Mexico are safe and peaceful. Especially in tourist areas, security is very good. Millions of tourists visit Mexico every year and enjoy its beauty without any problems. The beaches, ancient ruins, and natural beauty attract tourists. The truth is, some areas are more risky than others. But this is true for every country, including Mexico. The U.S. Department of State issues travel advisories. These advisories give up-to-date information about the areas you plan to visit. These provide valuable safety information. It's a good idea to check these advisories before you travel. Being informed is very important. Getting information from locals and using reliable sources is key to safe travels. Use common sense, just like you would anywhere in the world. If you are careful and aware in Mexico, you can have an unforgettable vacation. To understand Mexico, you need to understand its past. This land has seen it all. The Aztecs ruled a powerful empire from their capital, Tenochtitlan. Their pyramids still inspire awe today. Then, in the 16th century, the Spanish conquistadors arrived. Spanish rule lasted 300 years. It left a lasting mark on Mexican culture. The country gained its independence in 1821, but the fight for freedom continued. Mexico experienced revolutions, political uprisings, and economic hardships. Through it all, the Mexican spirit endures. It's a spirit of resilience, warmth, and generosity. Mexican people have a deep sense of community. Family is everything. They face hardships with fortitude and a bit of fatalism. Life in Mexico isn't always easy. Poverty is a reality for many, but there's also a vibrant energy, a contagious love of life. Music spills out from the cantinas. Markets overflow with colorful produce and handicrafts. Chapter 5. A Feast for the Senses, Exploring Mexican Cuisine. Mexican food is more than just tacos and burritos. It's a complex and delicious cuisine. Each region has its own specialties. From the mole sauces of Oaxaca to the seafood of Veracruz, there's something for everyone. Don't be afraid to explore beyond the familiar. Try the street food. Talk to the locals. They'll guide you to the best hidden gems. And don't forget the tequila. Make sure to sip it slowly. Chapter 6. A tapestry of traditions, festivals, and celebrations. Mexicans know how to celebrate. Festivals are a vital part of the culture, from the Day of the Dead to Independence Day. These events are full of life, color, and tradition. One of the most important celebrations is the Day of the Dead. It's a time to remember loved ones who have passed away. Families create altars decorated with food, flowers, and photos. It's a beautiful and touching tribute to life and death. Part 7. The economic engine. Industry, tourism, and challenges. Mexico has a diverse economy. It's a major exporter of cars, electronics, and agricultural products. The country's industrial sector, especially in automotive and electronics, has grown a lot. These industries are in high demand, both locally and internationally. Mexico's industrial production plays a big role in the country's economic growth. Agriculture is also a backbone of Mexico's economy. The country is a world leader in producing things like corn, avocados, tomatoes, and many tropical fruits. Farming creates jobs for millions of people living in rural areas. Plus, exporting these agricultural products brings in a lot of money for the country. Tourism is another important industry. Mexico attracts millions of tourists every year with its natural beauty, history, and rich culture. Tourism really helps the economy grow and creates lots of jobs. Millions of visitors flock to its beaches, historical sites, and colonial cities every year. Mexico's tourist areas offer appealing destinations for both local and international tourists. These areas generate a large portion of tourism revenue. Cities from the colonial era draw tourists with their history and cultural heritage. These cities reflect Mexico's rich history and cultural diversity. Tourists take a trip back in time by visiting the historic buildings and museums in these cities. Despite its economic progress, Mexico faces significant challenges. Income inequality is a big problem. Some areas of the country haven't benefited equally from economic growth. This creates a big income gap between cities and rural areas. Income inequality is a major issue. Corruption and poverty continue. The poverty rate in Mexico is still high. Many people struggle to meet their basic needs. Corruption hinders economic and social development. Corruption and poverty continue. The government is working on different reforms and policies to address these problems. But solving these issues will take time and require everyone to work together. The government is working to solve these problems. Economic and social reforms, fighting corruption, and reducing poverty are important steps for the country's future. But these reforms need long-term, sustainable solutions to be effective. But there's a long and difficult road ahead. The steps Mexico takes to solve its economic and social problems are crucial for the country's future prosperity and stability. Everyone in society needs to work together and support these efforts. Episode 8. Navigating the Maze. Healthcare and social services. Healthcare in Mexico is complicated. The public healthcare system provides affordable care to citizens, but it can be overcrowded and understaffed. Private hospitals offer better quality care, but it comes at a price. Access to education and social services is also unequal. Rural areas often lack sufficient resources. The government is investing in social programs, but more needs to be done to ensure equal opportunities for all Mexicans. Chapter 9. Looking ahead, Mexico's potential and promise. Despite its challenges, Mexico is a country with enormous potential. It has a young and growing population. Its people are hardworking and resilient, and its culture is rich and vibrant. Mexico is at a crossroads. It can choose to continue down the path of violence and corruption, or it can embrace its potential for growth and progress. Mexico's future is in the hands of its people. Episode 10. Beyond the Stereotypes. Embracing the True Mexico. Mexico is more than just the headlines. It's a country of contrasts, contradictions, and complexities. A place where ancient history meets modern life, where poverty and wealth exist side by side. and where the human spirit shines despite the hardships. Don't believe the stereotypes. Come to Mexico with an open mind and a sense of adventure. Experience its beauty, its culture, and its people. You might be surprised by what you find.